Hey Leo, so this is the semi-biweekly reading for the full moon to new moon. So we're looking at that approximate 2-week period of time from the full moon on the 1st in Aquarius in tropical astrology to the new moon in Leo on the 16th. It's in your sign. So that's the period of time we're looking at. This is the waning phase of the moon because we're going from full to new. So we're looking at how we can maximize, utilize, take advantage of this period of time. Every month we have the opportunity, regardless of what other kind of astrology is going on, the undercurrent, speaking of moon and how it has a sway over the oceans, the undercurrent is still that this is a waning phase, and when we go from new to full, it's still a building phase. It may not always be like the best time to, let's say, manifest, right? To plant your seeds for every new moon, but it still has that building energy in the background, in the undercurrent. It's still happening, right? Just like right now we have this waning moon energy. So this is an ideal time to, like, it's kind of like spring cleaning energy, right? This is an ideal time to offload, unload, remove, any kinds of things that are outdated, that are not working, that are a hindrance, draining when it comes to a certain area of your life. And that's what we are taking a look at, is how you can really work with those energies. So, all right. Ooh, we're talking about partnership here. That's cool. So one other thing, or a couple things that I will mention also, this is happening on the 1st of the month, obviously. So, and we also have, that means the month-long, or the monthly videos are also out, and that's more extensive. It's a longer read. So we have more cards. We go through how the month progresses, and challenges and spiritual advice. So definitely like check those out so that you have maybe the bigger picture, like how this fits into that context, right? These are more short and sweet, meant to really just talk about how you can really utilize and work with the energy for this approximate 2-week period of time. Also, the astrological highlights for the first half of August are up. It's a time-stamped video, so you can skip ahead to any dates or transits that are of interest, or come back to it as you go through the month. So this particular period of time, what is in focus is your 10th house. Your 10th house is all about your career. It's about your public role. It's about your reputation, right? So more so we're looking at career, that achievement, that moving towards, that going towards, and building for that. And that's the area of life that we're looking at. So when we're looking at what can you offload or release, this is doing an inventory of that particular area of your life to see maybe there are projects or things that are just like not working, haven't been working, need to be scrapped, like, or at least part or all of a project, and go back to the drawing board with. This would be an ideal time to look at that anyways, not just because of the waning phase of the moon, but also because we are dealing with the Venus retrograde. And so Venus retrograde, some of the themes that has to do with are revisiting, revising, reviewing, right? Any retrograde is about that, but with regard to values and with regard to creativity, right? And aesthetics, also with regard to our relationships and how harmonious those are. And so when you're looking through the lens of your career, maybe you own a business, or maybe you work within a company, whatever it is, you know, are the values aligned? Are, you know, revisiting those things, like what is like kind of outdated, doesn't need to be here, is kind of a drain, doesn't really work anymore, those types of things. What needs to be renegotiated in terms of, you know, values and whatnot, or creative projects, right? Especially creative projects right now with Venus retrograde is a good time to look at that, like within the company, within any of the projects that you're working on, or your particular company, whatever it is. And certainly relationships, which of course we're seeing over here. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the relationships that you have with other people, you know, perhaps there are some people who are like not really suited for the role that they're in. And maybe it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be let go, but maybe it just means that what they're responsible for shifts and plays more to their strengths. And so there's a renegotiation or a clearing conversation that happens to kind of like clear the air and like have everyone be on the same page, fresh slate, you know, like kind of getting rid of the ideas around like somebody needing to be in a certain role because it just doesn't really work for them. I hope that makes sense. So what we're looking at here with the spiritual advice is the Two of Cups. And this is all about harmonious relationship, right? This is about having those kinds of connections with people who are like, they just get it. you know, they just get the vision. They just get, it's almost like they speak the same language. They think in a similar way. They have similar values. We were just talking about that, right? So this could be if you are, let's say, in a business partnership with somebody. This could be that. It could be a specific person that we're talking about with the Two of Cups, but it has that kind of energy, right? And the spiritual advice kind of pointing to really working with those people and making them more prominent, and like them being highlighted in this process to help you maybe the contrast of seeing like how well you work with this person or these types of people in that realm really highlights and contrasts the people that it doesn't, like, it's not really working with, that they just don't get the vision, right? So that kind of could be part of this about like what's being pointed out, but also it could be pointing out like, hey, do you have this? Like, are you cultivating and creating these kinds of connections, either within the ecosystem of a company that you work with or for, or that your own company, your own business? Are these the kinds of relationships that you're cultivating? Are they aligned with your values? Do they get the vision, right? So this is definitely more geared towards clearly like career. So obviously it's a collective reading. It's not going to land for every single Leo out there, but this is what is coming up here for those of you who it does resonate with. So if this is your sun sign and you're like, I'm not sure, check out your rising sign, right? So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please consider giving the video a like so that I can find favor with the algorithm gods, and also subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. Also check out the monthly video so that you can see like the larger picture and how this fits into the larger picture for your sign. And also the astrological highlights video. There are a couple that I would certainly point out, a couple dates there that I would certainly point out, one of them being the 13th for the Venus Cazimi. So I would say, even if you pop over there for that and a couple of other ones that I have starred, I would check that out. So thanks for your time. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.